If you're like me and have more time than money, you might want to decide to make your own trees instead of going out and purchasing them. I'm going to show you an inexpensive way to make deciduous trees using wire and liquid plumber's tape. And I've also got some foliage. I have some woodland scenics foliage and this super turf, which is basically cut up sponge. I find it gives lots of nice little details in making trees. The first thing you do is select your wire size. Now, I have 3 different sizes here. I have this 10 gauge, and inside it has 19 strands of copper wire. And this is 14 gauge. It also has 19 strands of copper wire. And this is 20 gauge, and it has 20 strands of copper wire. Now, this is what I use for deciduous trees on my N-scale layout. I've completed my layout, so I have this left over. Actually, today I'm going to be working in HO scale. This particular wire, if you're working in N-scale and you want to use something like this, which is approximately in HO scale, it would be about in HO scale it's about 2 feet in diameter. Excuse me, not diameter, but circumference. And it's 4 feet in N scale. In other words, just huggable. I'm going to be working in HO scale today, and so I'm going to be working with this particular wire right here. The first thing you decide is how tall your tree is going to be, and so I'll cut this off at 30 feet, and then it will be slightly less than 30 feet when we finish building it. And the first thing I'm going to do is trim off a little bit at the bottom, like this. And I'm going to spread these out, and these will be roots later on. Alright, so I'll get all that spread out flat like that. Now we need something to stick into the sub base, so I'm going to take a pin and I'm going to jam the pointed end into here. Be sure you're jamming straight. It'll go right through and stick into you if you don't, so make sure you're jamming it straight. Get it in like that. And now we'll cut the end off so that it's somewhat sharp, so that we can stick it into our sub bases like that. Okay. The next step is to take off. We're going to leave the plastic casing down where the trunk is, the main bowl of the trunk. So I'm going to take off the rest. Take it off in a couple of pieces. Like this. See, it's hard enough to take off in small pieces, so it would be next to impossible to take it off in one. And one more piece. One thing you might know when you're looking for wire, the more flexible the wire is, the more strands of copper wire will be inside it. The stiffer it is, the fewer will be there. Okay. So now this one has 19 strands, so I'm gonna divide this in 6, 6, and 7. Take this 6 right here, twist it. Take all these and twist them together. This part you can do it however you want, but I'm going to make this branch a little lower than the next 2 large branches, and that way I'll have 3 big branches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and we'll separate those. Make the 2 larger trunks. Alright, now we'll divide it into 3s and 2s. And twist some more. So I'll get these all twisted and be right back with you. So I finished twisting, and again, how you twist them is up to you. You can make them any way that you want. But as you can see, I can sort of fill in an area here. Now, to complete the trunk, you set this over here, and we'll open this. This is liquid tape. It comes in various colors. Black is the most common, but it also comes in white, and I find white is a good color to work with because it's easier to paint. So we'll get some of this on, and we'll do the roots. Put that back in there. And we'll just coat the entire thing. With the liquid tape. Now the armature here will still be flexible because the liquid tape will dry flexible. But it will also cover up all those twists in the wire, or most of them, and what shows through will really be more like knots in the wood. So I will continue applying this to 100% of the copper, and then I'll get back to you when it's dry and we'll do some foliage. Right, our liquid tape is dry, and now we're going to paint it. If you want this to be a tree that has a whitish trunk, birch, poplar, something like that, and you want to leave a lot of white, you also want to cut off these roots, because I don't think that type of tree has visible roots at the base. But this is not going to be one of those. I'm going to paint it using Model Master colors. These are acrylic paints. I'm using 3 different colors. This wood, which is a tannish color. This is a dark tan, and this is rust. I find if you use 3 colors, it gives this plastic sheeting a texture. It looks like a kind of a texture if you use 3 different colors. And of course we also have the white color that might show in different places for a highlight. So my base color is going to be wood. And we'll just, oops, not as much in the jar as I thought. We don't necessarily need 100% coverage because we're going to go back over it with 2 other paints. Okay, so we're just lightly applying it. Be sure and get it all over. Now, up in here in this area where we're going to have foliage, and you're not going to see that much of the branches, it can all be one color. Plus, these branches, of course, are much thinner. That can all be one color, but the trunk and the base here, you're going to want different colors on them because, again, the tricolors will give the appearance of texture. Okay, I can get the rest of that later. Right now I want to go on and use my other colors. We'll put on the dark tan next, which is a little bit lighter than what I've been using. And again, this is not art. This is just applying paint. But we're not looking to get a uniform coverage because we want different colors and maybe some white highlights underneath. So, and the last color is rust. Try to put this rust color on because it adds a reddish to them. Try and do it in up and down streaks. Okay. So get the main trunk and the 2 main branches out here with the 3 colors. And it actually gives it a little bit of texture with those 3 colors, okay? I hope that's showing on the camera. I will finish painting this, and then I'll get back and we'll do the foliage. All right, we got the paint dry. Now I'm going to use Woodland Scenic's foliage. It comes in a bag like this, and it stretches and gives the appearance of thick foliage, but unlike clump foliage, you can see through it. Now, as far as how to put it on, I just usually grab some pieces and start putting it on. Now, I'm not going to be using any glue or anything because the little points on the wire there will mix in with it. I want to get some in towards the middle and out over here. And we'll get another piece. Like this. Wrap it over on this part right here. Because we want something covering all the ends of the wire. This out over here like that. Around so I can see the other side. Looks like we need another one. There we go. Put this back over here like this. And you can keep building. depending upon how full you want your tree. But just make sure you get all the stick ends covered, and don't leave any straight edges. Keep it all torn free and loose. And I think that will do it, and it doesn't really fall, it sticks to itself, see? And there we have a nice little deciduous tree. And you can work with these to make it what you want. Maybe you don't want as much of a trunk on yours, but that's one of the nice things about this. It can be anything you want it to be. I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. This tree cost about 20 cents. If you've got the time but not the money, this is the way to make trees.